I'm going to give you this block and I'll improvise or I'll share with Jeremy. Fabulous. Can you hear me online? Cool. Wonderful. Nice to have you all, both here and online. So let's start in a seated position, cross-legged or kneeling. You can put something under your hips just to elevate and create a bit of space in the body. And I find that just sitting like this also is a ritual of like, okay, the day has been whatever it was. We've worked, we've spent our energy outwards. This is a moment to pause, almost a bridge to that world of just taking care of yourself for the next hour. And you can close your eyes and then take a breath and try to sit up as tall and as upright as possible. Almost feels a little weird to sit this upright. Like a statue, nice and tall. I can feel, because I was running around sitting up, that my heart rate is quite fast, that I'm a little bit warm. So start to do a check-in yourself as well. What do you notice about your physical body this afternoon? Some days we feel very open, flexible as we call it, strong, connected. Other days we feel more fragile, even energetically a little bit close. And that's okay. These yin yoga practices allow us to realign, to reconnect. And a very important, beautiful tool that we have is our breath. So now start to notice your breath. And it is a tool. The first thing we do when we enter this world is breathe, and it will be the last thing we do as well. We breathe all day long, all night long. But you don't really often use the breath as a tool to relax, as a tool to calm down our central nervous system, as a tool to connect to our bodies. So really slow down and deepen your breath. Around 4 to 6 counts to breathe in and 4 to 6 counts to breathe out. And the offering today of a bit of a theme is simple but deep, a gratitude for our healthy body and mind. We often underestimate our health until we get sick, for example. Having done the Otter Trail for 5 days and before having had a small operation, made me realize that my body is quite incredible. What it can do, what it can cope with, overcome. So just an immense gratitude for the body adapting, healing, changing, digesting. If that theme resonates with you, wonderful. If you have your own intention or dedication, that is also fine. Let's again symbolically open our practice by bringing our hands together in front of the heart, uniting the right and the left, the yin and the yang, setting an intention or a dedication for your practice. And then you may bow your head, your intellect, towards your heart, your emotional world. And we'll start in a nice Baddha Konasana. If you have a prop, whether that is a roll-up towel, a bolster, or a pillow, you may bring it either in the lengthwise direction. You can use the block. That block is just a little rough. So I would maybe even wrap your towel around it, so it's not too hard on the body. So I'm going to use this as a bolster. placing it close to my tailbone. You guys, if you use a block, it's going to sit under your heart in between your shoulder blades. Rather there, and then just check on your neck. So you want your head to be supported by the floor. If not, we will put something under. And then Jen as well, place the soles of the feet together. So you are in a symmetrical shape. It's a little high, so let's actually put it here. I just can't feel if it's in the center.
Yes.
Is that good? Nice. And then let the palms face up. Jeremy, I'm going to just lift you for a moment. And then place, is this, just feel if it's in the center. Is it center?
Yep.
Yep. And then, yeah. Good. Now, soles of the feet to touch. And let the knees fall out to the side. Good. And then you may even close your eyes. And in these yin practices, we stay for longer periods of time to stretch into the deeper connective tissue. And also to cultivate stillness and practice being. We've been probably relatively busy today, doing all sorts of things. And in our yin practice, we cultivate grounding energy, calmer energy, and because we stay in these shapes for longer periods of time, we stretch into places where the body might originally wants to resist and hold on to tension. But with some nice, deep, slow breaths, the body will probably let go. And whether that's a big release or whether it's a subtle release, which you hardly notice, it's not really important. So you might feel, sometimes even when the bones pop, it's often a bigger release. It doesn't have to be that big. And now focus on your breath, really letting the breath fill up your lungs. You can feel the rising and falling of the chest. And then I'd like you today, pick an image. Could be the shape of a heart, could be the waves if you really enjoy the waves, it could be a tree, a flower. And then while you lie here in the next couple of minutes in the shapes that we will take, if you notice the mind wandering, bring your mind and your brain back to that image. So just pick one. See the colors, notice where it is, notice the subtle shapes, the details. Maybe it's your favorite plant at home, maybe it's your cat or your dog. Just a single-minded focus of the brain while you breathe slowly. And we'll stay still for the last 2 minutes or so. Take 2 more rounds of breath here. You already notice a calmer, softer, gentler energy on your mat and around you. And you can bring your hands to the back of your skull, and with the gentle lift of your arms, lift your skull and your chin towards your chest, stretching the back of the neck. And then roll onto a side of your prop and come up into a seated position. So you can roll sideways. Good. And then if you want to sit on something higher, so why would you sit on something higher? I always say, when in doubt, just go a little bit higher to give your body some more space. So you've got the opportunity to do that, especially if you know that, for example, if you sit up straight and your body is kind of rounded like that, then if you put something under, it will be easier for your hips to tilt. So the props are an important part of our practice. I'm going the wrong way. So I mirror you. So you are going to extend your left leg to the side and your foot is going to go on the inside. Make sure that both sit bones are grounded into the block. You can even literally release some of the flesh of your bum, so your sit bones are free. And then you can place, if you want to place something on the inside of the left leg, you can. You can place the arm on top and then let the left arm come overhead. Now, if this doesn't feel good for your right shoulder, you can also come into a half bind, let the arm kind of dangle or hold on to the inside. But we are going for a lateral stretch. So we are going for that side stretch here. Let me put the clock on, because once the arm is up, I can't do that anymore. So you're going to go for that lovely side stretch, but quite passively. So in a vinyasa way, we would reach to the fingers and have an active right arm. Now you can just let it fall. It can even fall on your head. Yeah, nice. Good, nice Paul, lovely Nadia. Awesome, Hannah and Emma, good to have you. And then close your eyes if that feels okay for you. And pay attention to the outside of your right hip and feel that the skin is stretching all the way up towards that right armpit. Maybe even up towards your right elbow. If at some stage your neck doesn't feel right, I'm just going to give you a last option. Just be gentle with the knee. You can also let your head rest on your left fist or hand. That is maybe nice for you. You can put a prop under the elbow and just let the head kind of rest. I like that. So I'm going to put it on my jaw. Then I'm actually putting my fist here around the top jaw, and then the bottom jaw can relax. Yeah, this is it. And then we just stay still, breathing into the right side of your body. Are you okay there, Jeremy? And with our yin practices, it seems like we're doing nothing, but the nuances and the subtle changes are happening. We're stretching the skin, we're stretching the fascia, creating space and breathing. Just the fact that you're consciously breathing is very healthy. Slows down the heart, slows down the blood flow, the speed. A little sigh, if things get a little intense, is always welcome. But there might be an edge, physically or mentally. You might feel this quite strongly, depending on where tension resides in your body. And just let the breath help you find softness and space. I would suggest to breathe into the nose and out of the mouth. And if it helps you to count the breath, then count around 4 to 6 counts to breathe in, 4 to 6 counts to breathe out. Also cultivating, creating flexibility in your spine by this lateral side bend. And often, actually, the side bends, the lateral stretches, we don't do very often. Twists we do during the day, forward bends, back bends, but lateral stretches not so much. This might feel a little awkward. Good, looking good. Stay with your breath. We'll be still. Coming back to your image. Coming back to your breath. Noticing the sensations. What can you relax on the next exhale? Maybe your jaw, your tongue, your fingers. If your arm is resting on your head, gently reach it up and let it just flop next to your body. And then move away slowly and gently. You can even use your fingertips on the floor, because it's when we move out that we go like whoosh. The legs stay the same. I'm just going to slightly adjust the knee. So I'm looking straight at my toes. From there, different people, different options. You might need a belt. I'm going to use my towel as a belt. I have a belt for you, Peter, if you want one. I think I have one. Yes, this. And then you can come into that forward fold. I think I have one here. I don't know if that's going to be long enough. Otherwise, I might have another one. No, I've got another one. So does it do the trick? Cool. Fabulous. I actually don't need one. Good. And then just let the head fall. An option here, if you have props like blocks or something, and you want to let your head rest, you can also do that. Most of us, it's probably going to be too far. I'm just giving that because we are different people, different bodies. It's nice to give the head an opportunity to rest. It's an amazing experience. If you haven't done it yet, definitely would recommend it. I realized being 5 days in nature, non-stop, without any distraction from computers or phones or outer world, that you start to observe nature more and more and more in details. So that image that you've picked, maybe if it's a flower or a wave, or maybe it's not nature related, can very well be. Try to zoom into the details, the structure, the color, the light fall, the size. It's interesting how we can walk the same path and see maybe the gross of it all. Okay, I see a tree, I see a flower. And then the more you walk, the more you stop. and you take moments to just be still and to zoom in. And actually, in a way, we do the same when we do a yin practice. We feel things we normally wouldn't have time to feel because we're moving fast. So notice where the body might present some resistance. Do you feel this mostly around the hamstring or around the lower back? And breathe towards those spaces. Soften the jaw and the skin on your face. Notice the mind wander, it's okay. Just bring it back to that image, bring it back to your breath. So you're seeing the recovering, the resetting, the restoring. 6 to 8 more rounds of breath in this shape. Gently use your hands to press into the floor. Again, just moving slowly. Exactly. Oh, some nice facial expression there. And then we can roll onto our backs. So extend. You can bring, if you have a belt or something, you can bring it with. Come onto your back and bring the leg with the belt. I think you might. I'll start the timer for us. Are you good there, Jeremy? Shoulders relaxed. Awesome. Because what happens here, if you use this, your shoulders can relax. Same for you. I will go. Then I can take this. We're sharing all our props, all our toys. So can you keep your shoulder blades flat to the floor? Almost, when we sat in the beginning, we try to sit up straight. So, it's like you're sitting against a wall and you're trying to have a straight spine. And also the back of the pelvis is on the floor, so the tailbone is not lifting too much. That's why I would say try to keep your feet above your hips, and then you can have the back the SI joints, the pelvis on the floor. Some people might need to tuck the chin a little bit, so lifting the head and bringing the chin in and in towards the throat, I'd say, and then soften the shoulders away from the ears. Now this is called leg of the wall. You can at home do this against the wall. I know I'm speaking a lot about the otter trail. It's obviously very much in my mind still, but I did this every day after the hike. So when you walk a lot, or when you sit a lot, or if you have been in a plane, this is really good to drain the lymph, to drain the energy from the feet down towards the hips. Now that we have our shape and feel good and comfortable, we commit to stillness. We refine our breath, we slow down the breath, and maybe even that mental image that can help you. Notice when the mind wanders and just bring you back to that image. Pick an image that you like, something that brings you joy. I think I'm changing image now. I'm picking a different flower. You can analyze the shape, the edge, the size, the color. Soften the jaw, a little bit of space between the upper lip and the lower lip, the top row of teeth, the bottom row of teeth. And with every exhale, allow yourself to surrender. Extremely beneficial for us in our Western culture, where most of our time we are doing stuff. It's almost difficult, or I know for myself, it was really difficult to accept that this is also acceptable to just be, to have peace, to have tranquility with just being. Around 4 more rounds of breath here. Gently let go and hug your knees in towards your chest for a moment. And slowly roll onto your side. Press yourself back from the floor. And we'll do a hip opener called 90-90. So as you can see, your yoga mat has 90, like as corners, which are 90-degree angle. So your knees are going to be in line with those 90-degree angles. So let's start with our right foot at the top, or right leg at the top. So your shin is going to be parallel to the front edge of your mat. Knee is in a 90-degree angle, very much in line towards and falling to wall here, and that's where scooping comes in. So the meat that sits on the inside of the leg, you want to bring it under the leg. So you lift it if you have. Just warning you, this is probably going to be quite strong, specifically after 5 minutes or so, because we stay an average of 5 minutes per pose to stretch into. So you don't have to go all the way straight away. You can stay here for a little bit, just give your body the opportunity to get used to it, and then decide, and you know that you have your breath. So specifically when you actually, it's not about having to stay, you know, it's about finding that edge, being a little bit comfortable with that uncomfortable sensation, because often the hips hold on to a lot of tightness. We walk all day long. Probably my hips are still a bit tight from the hike as well. So it's good to stretch into it, but it's not always easy. Let the breath be there for you. Soften the skin on your face. And even feel your belly rise and fall, how the belly, if the belly is touching your thigh, how it is pressing back. And then also with the next couple, so rising and fall side as well. It's like a full balloon expanding in all directions on the in and the exhale. Jen, if you want, you can put your block higher. Oh, okay. And if you want, Jen, you can put that thingy on top. Is it? Yeah, is it not tangled? I actually kind of like it when it presses, but it shouldn't hurt. Relax your jaw, relax your toes. I often think my feet are relaxed until I go, hey, right foot, relax, relax toes. And then if you move, it sinks to another level of relaxation. And then I pay attention to my left foot and give my foot permission to just relax. Breathe. I don't know where you feel this most. For me, it's quite intense in the right hip joint. Might be very different for you, huh? Don't get me wrong. We all have different bodies and we hold on to tension differently. But send some extra breath to that area where you feel. my mind and brain is telling myself, oh, I want to move out, I want to move out. And that's okay because we're almost there. So notice when you meet an edge, and if it's frustrating or kind of emotions come up. Stay. Okay, let's change side, yogis. Yeah, and then you can change sides, left side, and you're still right leg, yes. Sorry, the internet just dropped for a split second. And make sure we're all the same. So your left leg will come in front, 90-90. Scoop a little bit of meat underneath. I know this is my tighter side. And that's also something that you discover with these yin shapes, that the one side might feel very different compared to the other. Did you do the scooping, Jeremy? Sorry? Did you do that scooping a little bit? Yeah? Yeah, it feels good. Okay. Can you hear me back home? I think my internet might drop. No, you seem fine. Okay, good. It's stormy in Scarborough, and then the internet is not as reliable. That's nice. We live, nature goes first. All right, we're in position. We're back together. Wonderful. Also try to soften your shoulders. We tend to hold on to quite some tension. I mean, we're obviously stretching quite deeply here into our hip area. And let that release. Let it also, you know, stay soft in the shoulders. Sometimes we then start to hold on to tension by just lifting the shoulders up to the ears. So while you send some softness into the hips, also make sure that your shoulders stay relaxed. Breathe. And yes, I mentioned that theme of being grateful for a healthy body and a healthy mind, but it's also our own responsibility to practice self-care, to take care of our bodies and our minds, which the yin practice definitely does. Eat healthy, drink water, all these things. Because meanwhile, our bodies are working hard to keep everything that doesn't serve us, to keep it out or to deal with it, to digest it. So what can we in our own ways do to keep that body healthy, to keep that mind healthy? Spending time in nature, having moments of quiet time, maybe journaling if you're someone that, sometimes struggles to express themselves, and letting go of things, write it down. Can be very, very good to just also get it off your chest. Meditate. Go to bed early. All these things, they help for your physical and mental well-being. Yeah. Ooh, I'm happy to tell you that we can move out of it. So slowly start to lift. Phew. Move out. As often when you move out, you're like, oh, I'm a granny. But it also means that the body kind of needed that. And you can shake your legs a little, or just kind of kick them out. And we've got our lovely side stretch. So come and sit. If you want to sit on something, sit on something. And we stretch the right leg, or you'll stretch your right leg to the side. Maybe remove some flesh from the sit bones. Are you happy with that belt? Yeah. We'll start with a side bend. So I've lost my beautiful roll, but I can do it like that. Place your right arm on top. So you're twisting your heart almost open. You're twisting that left shoulder up and away. You can hold it there, already start to feel. So also stretching into the kidneys actually. And then just let that arm, let me time that for us. Let that arm come over. You can hold with your hand the back of the skull. If it's okay for the neck, the arm can rest on the head. I just find it quite strong. So in that sense, because my arm is resting on my head, I like to just support my skull with that right hand. And then again, let's just pay some attention to that right hip. Do you feel the skin stretch from the outer right hip along the right side? Left, sorry, that's left for you. Right for me. Left hip for you. Around the left rib cage. Breathe. Let it rise and fall. The same way you can feel your chest rise and fall, you can breathe towards that left lung. So yes, we are stretching the skin, and yes, we are stretching space between, the ribs and also the vertebrae of your spine. But inside your body, you also have your organs. So your left lung is nice and open and wide. So it's almost like you're also stretching that tissue. And the fascia, which is your connective tissue. And specifically that fascia needs some time to actually benefit from a stretch. So that's why we have these longer holds. And bring your attention to the breath, the image. And there's no blaming or shaming if you accidentally forget about the image or the breath, but it just helps you to go, okay, oops, I've forgotten. Let's go back there. Relax the jaw, the tongue, your eyes. Gently release your left hand and then bring your body a little bit more upright. Shoulders, sides. And you may move that knee slightly so you can face that right foot. See if you can sit up nice and straight. And then use your belt around the foot, shoulders away from the ears. And then just slowly come all the way forward, up and over. Nice, guys. That looks nice, Emma. I like your construction. And it is totally natural. I find that when I'm in a shape that is challenging, that has an edge, that I want to fiddle. There's a restlessness that starts to creep up, and even recognizing that, and not only recognizing it now, but also recognizing it On other days, like, oh, there's a subtle like restlessness inside me. Why would that be? What can I do to find some calmness again? It's interesting to be still, I find, and also notice at any time in the day when the fight flight mode gets triggered. It can be at the weirdest moments. That I remember this week I was doing some little errands and I suddenly realized I was going to be late, and I was like this shift of like energy inside me of like not panic but like and I realized, hey, that's stress. Okay, what can I do about it? I don't have to be stressed now. Either I call and say that I'm a little late, or rather than winding yourself all the way up. So it's recognizing when that rises. That can be very beneficial, I find. And that's why our mat is such a beautiful practice ground. A place of self-discovery, a place of self-care. And gently, gently roll up. And then we have our Shavasana. So you can roll onto your back. If you have something and you want to cover your eyes just to create some darkness, you can do that. Letting the feet flop open to the side. Palms facing up. And initially, you might want to move a bit, move your hips and your shoulders until you feel like, yeah, this is it. This is where I can just be. Totally nothing to do, not even paying attention to the breath or your image or sensations. Just let go. And I'll let you know when it's time to move again. And slowly start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Feeling into the extremities of the body. And let's close with that gratitude for a healthy body. So in a way, be grateful for every little cell and every little toe and nail and finger, and how extremely intelligent your body is, complete and absolutely perfect. And you can hug your knees into chest. Just pause a moment when they're there, or wiggle a little from right to left. Then roll onto the side. Take a moment there. Also getting out of our shavasana is almost like a ritual on its own. Taking that bridge back from that self-care, that time just for yourself. Slowly preparing the body, waking up the body and getting ready to spend energy outwards again. Gently press yourself sideways up into a seated position. Let's take a moment of reflection. We sat here around an hour ago. Has anything shifted? I hope so. I hope some calmness, some centeredness. So take that with you off your mat into the rest of this beautiful day and evening. You may close your practice by bringing the hands in front of the heart, a gesture of recognizing your beautiful uniqueness and also that we are all connected. Thank you for practicing and taking care of yourself. Namaste. Big smiles, love it.